All right, everyone. Just here. We're going to talk some Mets today. I'm just going to wait for some flood in for now, but excuse me. Other than that, we've got some news that we can talk about as well, some opinions and everything going on with the Mets right now. Yesterday was I'd say a pretty good game, taking out the Braves, and definitely a game that looked to slip away from us. That we were up 5-0, but hey, we came through with the victory, and that's pretty much it. And that's all that really matters. 5-game set, first of 5. Carlos Carrasco was okay, could have been better. Would say the man behind the plate was to blame for a lot of it. He did not look good in his return. But no, that's just that personally might be just a recency biased, or just me hating on the guy. So even though he looked like absolute shit. But other than that, Tyler Naquin, 2 home runs last night. In his Citi Field debut, 1 to right field, 1 to left field. Daniel Vogelbach with his second home run in 2 days. Had one in DC, and then had one last night. 2 of them have been contributing like crazy. Edwin Diaz with a 6-out save. What else is new? The man has been just completely dominant all year. Let's see. Just got some word about Travis Jankowski getting designated for assignment. So a lot of people upset that we got rid of Jankowski. I think we're happy with Tyler Naquin. I think that's pretty much something that we can bank on as of right now. Praise the rough trade. He hasn't played yet. So what do I have to praise right now? He's great against lefties. I'll take it. He's 36 years old, so I'm not going to go completely crazy yet. I'm also not going to praise the deadline that we had as well, because that was definitely not something that I expected. I expected them to be a lot more aggressive than they were. Maybe they were and just did not come out with some deals, but that was not really acceptable in my opinion. Do I think they failed? They definitely upgraded. I'd say they upgraded a lot, especially depth-wise on the bench. JD Davis, I mean, he had to pretty much go. Dom Smith is still here, but he's injured. Looks like he was going to he's going to have a rehab today or tomorrow in Syracuse. I don't know if he gets called up, but to be honest, Dom and JD, these guys were pretty much at the point of, these guys had 9 lives at this point. So, what's up, man? How are you? From Facebook. Hey, what's going on? I'm doing good, man. I'm waiting for game 2 pretty much. Taijuan Walker taking the mound so far in the second half. He hasn't crumbled. So, listen, we got to give props where it's due. Dom may make a rehab start. Have to rehab until the end. I'm fine with him doing that, to be honest. I still don't know what the hell he's doing here. I personally would have just released him at this point. I mean, the guy has just been brutal. I'm getting a feeling that the only 2 guys in the bullpen Buck really trusts are Nimmo and Diaz. Yeah, I'm starting to get that feeling too. Recently, Lugo's been better, but I would not put full-on faith in him. Because he's just not the guy that he used to be. I think that's already been established already. Drew Smith was having a tough time and he got hurt. I think they'll eventually be able to trust Michael Givens. I think that was it kind of would come as a overreaction. But I think he'll be fine in the sense. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I mean, he's able to manage contact, so you can get him in those middle innings. And then obviously it just shows with Ottavino and with Diaz of how taxed that they're coming off going through all these innings, Diaz being a explosive closer as he is, and Ottavino being 36 years old, it shows how important Trevor Williams is. And that's one of the main reasons why I would love to bring him back come free agency, because I don't really think you get as many starters to swing men who can really handle that type of pressure, especially in this type of environment, especially after seeing Diaz get. Yes, Diaz ain't pitching tonight. I'll tell you that right now. It'd be nice to get at least 7 innings from Walker, and then you can turn on the Jets from there. But other than that, who does Atlanta have on the mound tonight? I actually don't know. Is it Ian Anderson? Okay, so Ian Anderson has the mound. Okay, so we should be fine offensively. That's what I'm assuming. Or if he just have some kind of master class, because that's something that a lot of people like to do. But a lot of people like to do that in the pitcher's ballpark known as Citi Field. But lineup today, Canna is sitting again. Escobar is benched for the 4th straight day, which kind of saw that coming. I mean, Escobar really has just not been good at all. You can't really sugarcoat really much around that. Mark Canna, I don't know why he's sitting so much, but I do understand it. He has gotten drilled in the back a few times with some pitches. And also he had a lot of hip problems in these past few years, and he's also 33 years old. Some people do remember he does look like a young child with his baby face, but he's getting up there in age. He's not a young guy like 27 or 28. He's 33 years old. So I'm just trying to see where the lineup is. There we go. Where is it? Mets lineup. Trying to check out where it is at. Okay. All right. So you got Nimmo, Marte, Lindor, Alonso, Vogelbach, McNeil, Naquin, Guillorme, and Nito. Nito behind the plate. I guess we're looking at the platoons right now for Nito and McCann. That's pretty much how you're going to wait it out until Francisco Alvarez gets the 100% go time sign to be called up. But, they didn't say they're not going to rule it out, but I don't really think that they're going to try and get him up here, even though I think they should consider it, considering the production you're getting from this position. Tyler Naquin, another start, obviously. I mean, he's been hitting pretty well, but, Mark Canna sitting, what is this? Is that 2 days in a row? Back-to-back days? I understand Escobar sitting. I mean, he's not been good, but I don't know. We'll see. I guess they only want to limit Mark Canna to left field. That's really the best position that he does play. I saw something about Tomas Nido being one of the best blockers in the league this year. That's pretty much no surprise to me. If only he could actually, swing the bat like, an average hitter, that would be nice. Do you think Ian Anderson is the next Patrick Corbin when he's lights out in the World Series, sacrifices his career? I mean, I don't really know much about Ian Anderson to really care, but to be honest, I mean, I hope so. I mean, he's a Brave, right? You hope that he fails and he's terrible. Okay. Now, what else was I going to say? Okay, Kershaw going to the IL. Yeah, all right. Another thing I want to talk about, I think this goes without saying, but Pete Alonso, main guy. He's been the main guy, the main catalyst. To be honest, when you put this has already been explained, but when you put power protection around Alonso, they're going to pitch to him. And Alonso has been crushing the damn ball. Can Nito just give us one home run? It would be nice. Could any of our catchers hit a home run? That's a very rare occasion. That's why I would consider probably calling up Michael Perez, who was also in the top 5 of that block rate. But yeah, I don't even know that position. You've lacked a lot of production from that for a long time. But you're just hoping that Francisco Alvarez can be that number one guy, and if not, then Kevin Parada could be that number one guy. And they got both of these guys, so I would love for both of them to be stars. It's definitely with the graveyard we've developed these past 10 years. I'd say that having 2 elite catchers would be cool. And that's basically what they're looking at, and both with Alvarez and Parada, and I'm good with that, with those guys both being in the lineup, and maybe they both develop a great bat, and we wouldn't have to worry about the DH as well. So that's basically what I'm looking at. As much as I like Nito defensively, I'd say that all of these catchers are pretty much getting on my nerves. I'm tired. I'm obviously tired of James McCann. I can't stand him anymore. Nito, I don't know, man. Mazika's just horrible. I think I'm just ready for something new at this position. That's what I'm ready for. I think Nito's a great defensive catcher, but the position they're putting him in is it's not a position that I would put as a deal for him. I think he's known as a backup catcher, and putting him as a platoon catcher because James McCann's been so lousy, it's just not going to work. And that's something that I think they really need to look at. But why is Beatty still in Double-A? That is a great question. The man should have been in Syracuse 2 weeks ago, and he's not. He's been red hot in Double-A. I have no clue. I wish I could tell you. I don't know what is blocking him in AAA, because that AAA team is pretty bad. Let's see if there's actually anything blocking him. Vientos is not playing third base, right? JT Riddle, I doubt that's going to be in his way, right? I mean, Beatty, it was a shocker to see Alvarez get promoted to AAA because he's so young, and he was not supposed to be in AAA this year. Talked about wanting to make the majors this year. He was not supposed to be in AAA this year. We definitely did not expect that to happen at 20 years old. Beatty's 22. He's a lot older. So I don't know why he's not in AAA right now. And telling by how bad that Syracuse team is overall, I can't really find any real excuse for why. Kraber Robertson was just waived, or not waived, designated for assignment or whatever, picked up by the Cardinals or whatever. I'm pretty sure he was a third baseman, right? I mean, is Travis Blankenhorn in his way? Like, I just don't see anything really in his way. The only thing you could see is Mark Vientos, but Mark Vientos hasn't played third base all year. So I don't get it. Ray Rods, what's going on, man? Let's go Mets, man. Yeah, I don't get it, man. I wish I could tell you why Beatty is still in Double-A. He just got Double-A Player of the Month, right? Did you hear James McCann change his last name to McDouble Play? I don't even think you need to even take it that far at this point. I think that's just been full on established that the guy just can't lift the ball. Yeah, I don't know how they made it out that game alive yesterday. And to be honest, because McCann was having a tough day. I'm not going to lie. He was having a tough day. And, yeah, it was his first game back, but he stinks of shit. Thought Brett Beatty was cheeks. I don't know why. Who's Brett Beatty? He's got 2 T's, man. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, other than that, I think, I don't know why Beatty's not up. I mean, Beatty's been fantastic this year. I definitely think he's more major league ready than Mark Vientos. But hey, everyone wants to drool over him. I don't understand the fascination with that guy, but hey, that's why I'm not sitting there in the front office and I'm not acting like I am. All right. So, I need a company rhino in here. So if you want a rhino in here, let me know, and he'll appear. But he just wants to hide in the chat and just talk shit and not talk to my face because he's a loser. But other than that, I'm just gonna switch to a headset real quick, guys, and then we can just keep going. All right. All right. About that. Whew. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So any questions, please don't be afraid to ask. I don't bite. We usually see quite a few people in here, but they don't chat. And that's something that keeps the stream going and keeping it going fluently. So that's something that we encourage you all to do. Chat. Say what's up. Say hi. I sound like Ozzy Osbourne right now with my throat. It's not well, chew some chalk, all right? Chew some chalk. All right. Just waiting for any news to drop. This year they have no. I don't know if this is a shot at the former coaching. Here, I'll pop this up here, guys. Travis d'Arnaud is complimenting us. He's saying this year they have no holes. They pitch. Their bullpen is strong. I don't know about that. Good defense. They hit for average. They hit for power. Smart at bats with runners in scoring position. Very well coached over there. They are a good team. Well, there you go. That's his former team right there he's talking about. He's praising us. That's good. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't give a shit. Who's our closer for the night? I wish I could tell you, man. I wish I could tell you. Lugo's a strong possibility because he has experience doing it. Who else is here? I mean, Trevor Williams could eat up a few innings, but you might actually need him for one of the games of the doubleheader. Ottavino's not going to pitch. Diaz is not going to pitch. Trevor May said he's going to ease himself into high leverage situations. Givens is closing. I mean, he is a Buck guy, so maybe he has faith in him. But fuck that. See all those runs he gave up in Nationals Park? Yeah, okay. Wow. Okay. Just making sure everything on Twitter is good so far. Nothing stupid drops, no scare injuries, no nothing, no this. All right. So Taijuan Walker versus Ian Anderson tonight. Lineup is out. I think I already said it, but I can do it one more time for clarification. Jake out on Sunday. Will you shut the fuck up already? If you're not going to come in here, then keep your mouth shut, all right? Nimmo, Marte, Lindor, Alonso, Vogelbach, McNeil, Naquin, Guillorme, and Nito. Adonis Medina. Yeah, I would love to call him up. I don't know what he's doing in AAA. The Nats won with a subpar bullpen. I think ours is better. Yeah, that's true. But they did make additions that helped that bullpen at the deadline, and we really did not do that. We kind of just replaced one and didn't really improve it. Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. Haven't seen Ruff yet. You're probably only going to see him against a lefty. You had a small chance when Tyler Madsdick came in last night, but they took him out for another right-hander. You're only going to see him against a lefty. So I don't know if they have any lefties starting in this series. They might. Obviously, Fried's like their only guy, so that's when you'll probably see him. But Vogelbach and Naquin have been playing so well. Any righty killers that we can get in that lineup is great. The offense just looks better. It looks more deep now with the additions of these bats. Would you want to do a little bit more at that deadline? No. Yes. Excuse me. Yes, but yeah, I you know what? It's an upgrade. And they were a contending team before, and they look like even more of a contending team after the trade deadline. You wanted to do more, but it just didn't. They just didn't. So it's frustrating, but they're, like we've said multiple times, they're relying on these guys to stay healthy, which is a little bit iffy considering the history and what we gone through last year. But hey, whatever. I'm okay with the bats. We just need another left-handed pitcher for the bullpen. Yeah, it would have been nice. I would have liked the lefty. But I don't know about this trust they're putting into Joely Rodriguez. I don't like it. I don't like guys that can't throw a strike, and he can't really throw a strike. So that sucks. Guess it's Peterson time. Yeah, we'll see. I think Peterson will probably end up in the bullpen with this fully healthy rotation. Coming in with that is, if Jake Full-On stays healthy, if he can tag team on like a short outing, like, Taijuan Walker goes 5, or maybe, somebody else goes 5, like, being some kind of emergency guy to clean up and eat innings, keep us in the game. But Tyler Duffy has a bad baseball savant. I don't care. So do you. So you shouldn't be judging. But yeah, Peterson, I don't think he should be in the 8th inning like he was assigned to in that Yankees game. But yeah, I think he'll be somewhat as a reliever. And if not, let's hope Joey Lucchesi gets healthy. It's all about health right now. That's literally it. Is Diaz good for tomorrow? Is tomorrow the doubleheader? Or is that the final day? I think tomorrow is the doubleheader. It's 1 and 7, right? 1 and 7 tomorrow. I don't know. Might do it. Something in between. It's possible. What? Okay. Sorry, it's just stupid shit popping up on Twitter that's just distracting me right now. So currently, what are we? 29 games over 500. 4.5 game lead in the National League East. We are guaranteed to stay in first place for once this series is done. But you would like to take, maybe 4 of the 5. I would love to take all 5, just completely bury Atlanta into the sand, and just, get our 10-game lead right back, in a few games afterwards. But, who knows? Maybe the ball doesn't roll our way in one of these games. It's very possible. But if we do win tonight, I feel confident because the Mets have never gotten swept in a doubleheader. May have just jinxed it there. They're going to lose. You're going to get swept in the doubleheader. But, well. We still have the waiver wire. We can still get a left-hand pitcher if we lucky. I hope that's what they're looking at. I really do. Apparently they looked into Andrew Chafin, never really got sturdy numbers out there to make that deal, and that's just what we're looking at right now. The shortage of lefties continues to phase this team, and that's pretty much what you're looking at. It stinks, but there's not really much you can do with it now. They're relying on a lot of guys to stay healthy. That's it. That's what they're relying on. And if it works, great. But if it doesn't, it's going to look pretty bad. Because the depth can be thin at times. If one or two guys go down, it looks bad. It definitely looks bad. Okay. All right, guys, make sure to leave a like on the stream. It'd be greatly appreciated. Subscribe to our channel. Yeah, exactly. Like the goddamn stream, you weirdos. We're at 4 likes right now. Let's get that up. That'd be cool. Subscribe, post notifications. We got streams and videos coming at you guys pretty much every day, as much as we can alter. And of course, we got some stuff coming up this week. Me and Andrew probably plan something out. And if not, we'll, just do a stream with you guys. Stay out here. Get off Wikipedia, please. That's my troll job. Okay, stop it. What? One thing that we did figure out, and this was credited to some of the guys at Mets Weekly, Brandon Nimmo has not been that good at home this year, which is very weird. It's something I really have not really been paying attention to. But at home, like he's not really been that good of a hitter. On the road, he's been elite, which is weird to think about. But it's very odd. All I can say is that I expect Nimmo to be a little bit more of a balanced hitter, and that's a little weird. It's a little weird. It's unsettling. He's pressing? Yeah, it's possible. He wants that big money. Yeah, I think he'll be fine, but all I can say is that, like, weird. Very weird. It's a very weird concept because usually he's just good everywhere. But hey, what can I say, man? What can you say? It's Brandon Nimmo. He's got a mind of his own. But yeah, it's a very odd scenario because it definitely was not a thing that he did during his career. He's always been able to hit everywhere. So very odd novelty this year that he's just not been able to hit at home. Very odd. Very odd. Nimmo getting Springer money or more. He's younger than Springer, so it's possible, but he's also just as injury prone as Springer, so we don't know. But I would love to bring him back. I want him to come back, but there's a lot of free agents we have that we want to bring back. There was a lot of free agents I wanted to bring back last year, and we didn't bring back any of them. All right. So Okay. All right. So yeah, guys, I'll stay live for another half hour, and then I'll hop off. Just wanted to do some quick chatting about the team, whatever you guys get. Diaz is young enough to get over 100 million, but I don't think as a reliever it happens. I don't think that's gonna happen, but we'll see. Um, the criteria has been set with Raciel Iglesias' contract. I think he gets more than that, especially after the historic season that he's had so far. But yeah, he's definitely going to be a hot commodity, um, especially since he's pretty much put himself so far ahead of everyone else for reliever of the year. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for this, but I'm also nervous. I mean, as he continues to be as elite as he is, drives the price up, and it definitely makes you a little bit more finicky since it's a reliever. It's a very finicky position. We all know this by now, and that's pretty much what you're looking at. Shout out to everybody in here. Like the stream, that'd be awesome. It's free. Why not do it? It's great. Subscribe to the Mets Weekly channel. If you're on Facebook, what's up? If you're seeing us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter, retweet, like it, do all that stuff. And because this stuff is not possible without you guys. So just remember that. I think he earns 20 per. It's very possible because what was Raciel Iglesias get? He got 17 million a year, 18 million a year. What was it? It was stupid. 60 million a year. Okay. So it's possible that he does get 20. Class A and Helsley clear Diaz. I'm an astronaut too. So that's cool. So I guess it was backloaded or whatever, like to 3 years or whatever. Now he's a Brave. So I'm actually impressed that the Angels actually got rid of that contract in the first year. But knowing Artie Moreno, he just, when something is not going his way, he just throws it into a fire immediately. So yeah, makes sense. I can see Nimmo getting 18 to 22 million per. I think that's somewhat what it is worth. But with Boris there, you're gonna have to overpay. I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna push you to overpay. If you're desperate to bring back Nimmo, and I know we are, we definitely don't have that many outfield options like just sitting there down the line who can be, everyday stars. Besides Canna and Marte, Naquin, I like just starting as that type of platoon guy, but I don't think he's an everyday type of player. And then you look past that, the outfield depth is very thin. Did you expect this Mets team to be this good before the season started? I will be honest. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm going to tell you right now, I was a little bit low on it, only because I had this concerns about the lineup. Obviously, I talked my shit about McNeil and kind of just that lack of power protection for Alonso. That problem was basically shown true, but they've been able to pretty much grind out at bats. I'd say that the most surprise, I wouldn't say surprising, but like the best job done from expectations, I'd say Eric Chavez. I did not expect him to be that big of an impact, but he has been. If you call it luck or not, he's definitely brought a great approach to this team, grinding out at bats, making the opponent, feel uncomfortable. I'd said they go 162-0. I'm sure I said that. Okay. I thought that losing Javi was going to hurt more. I was wrong. I like Javi. I would have kept him. I still would have kept him. I stand by that statement, to be honest. I think he does, I think he does help a lot of the weaknesses that we have on this team. But yeah, I personally blame just the Tigers organization of how they're set up. But whatever. I think he would have done great if we brought him back, but I guess we'll never know. But they've been good without him. But he definitely made the team entertaining to watch, shall we say, last year when there wasn't really many things that were entertaining towards the end of the year. I still was watching the Mets because Javi Baez, Javi and Lindor. Those were the guys that I was watching it for. But this year, we've had a lot of guys to watch. So there's nothing crazy. But yeah, the only team I'm nervous about signing Diaz is the Dodgers. I think we're nervous about the Dodgers signing anyone at this point, because they were obviously quiet this deadline. And I don't know where they're going. It's going to be weird. I feel like they're going to jump on something because that's what the Dodgers do. My biggest fear, and I hate speaking this into existence, but I will let you guys know because we're honest here. My biggest fear is the Dodgers wiping their hands clean of the Bauer contract and going after number 48. And that's what I'm really it definitely is it's a small fear of mine. Do I think that they will keep him? Yes. I think they're going, if he stays healthy and proves that he can stay healthy for the rest of the year, yes. But it definitely, it's a thought in the back of your mind, especially when you've seen a lot of our players just not really be kept. Jake and Wright were like the only guys to really sign extensions. We don't really do that much. It haven't really been established that we keep our own players, and I don't really think they've put that stamp down yet. And we don't know who it's going to be. Is it going to be Nimmo? Is it going to be Jake? I don't know. You think Trevor plays next year? Well, he is suspended for the rest of his contract, right? With the Dodgers, right? I think so. Is that true? Let me know. Hurts less because of Guillorme. Guillorme is not the volume player that Javi is. I will say that I'm a huge Guillorme fan. He's one of my favorite Mets, but he's just not a starting caliber player like Javi Baez. I'd say that the platoon can definitely make up for it, and the production that you're getting from a quantity of guys is definitely making up for the miss of Javi. Obviously, you're seeing how the offense has been doing well this year. They've had their few spurts of not being able to hit, and that definitely worries me with that type of lack of power protection that they had. And they went out and got it with Daniel Vogelbach. Even Tyler Naquin can protect a little bit of power too, because the man who was supposed to do it in Eduardo Escobar, not doing it. So they had to do it. They addressed some needs. What I wanted them to address more, they did. But bad feeling about Taijuan tonight. I have a bad feeling about Taijuan pretty much every time he takes the mound, to be honest. He's very nerve-wracking to watch, but so far he's been good. I'm not going to hit the panic button just yet. He gets the tip of my cap so far. He's been good the first two starts of the second half. My main thing about him was, perform in the second half. Don't collapse like you did when we need you most, especially with an even older rotation that we have, adding in Max Scherzer to it, and the depleted bullpen that it looks like with injuries and guys that you can't really trust is very limited. The circle of trust, very limited. We should non-tender Dom. Yeah, I just cut him at this point. I really would just cut him. I don't see this guy coming out of any shell at this point. He's had so many chances to redeem himself, and I just I don't know what to say anymore. Like I can't. It's enough already. I really thought that he would have a great role off the bench, and he didn't. So I don't know what to say anymore. And our DH is, I mean, you obviously have a platoon with that, but I'm not going to start Dom against lefties, even though he was able to kill left-handed pitching last year, and that was his main, token of value. But I'm not going to keep a guy who can, scoop the ball up at first base, especially with Pete Alonso there. So it's like there's just no reason for this guy to be here anymore. He's had his chances to prove himself. He hasn't proved himself, and that's pretty much it. He's just been blech, just blech at this point. I think we already know that point of emphasis at this point. I mean, just Dom's just he's a first round pick. You don't know how many chances that you can give this guy at this point. What else we got here? Yeah, so yeah, hopefully again, let's hope Taijuan can, give me 2 to 3 run ball. I think we can hit Ian Anderson. Let's hope that they do. Because the offense always has its moments. So let's not act like this. The offense is always guaranteed to score 6 or 7 runs every night. They've had their moments of they've had their up and down, but they haven't fully collapsed. So yeah, that Musgrove extension is bad for us. To be honest, I'm more focused on kind of developing pitching from within, and I think that there's a very big possibility that we can do that. I'd say that more teams in on 48. That's true. That is true. That is a very true statement. But I'm going to say that, DeGrom, Scherzer, they're all looking at the 2 to 3 year time period that they put Scherzer here. Every contract that they have besides Lindor is short term. And that's basically what they're looking at for our rotation so far. And what they're trying to do is build from the bottom with the farm system and kind of develop all those arms as well. And when they're ready after this 2 to 3 year period, when, maybe Max Scherzer retires, or maybe Jake's not here, and maybe, Carrasco will be gone by then. I don't think Taijuan Walker is going to stay, or he's most likely going to opt out of that contract. Bassett could still be here. I don't know. So, this team is built to win now, but I think one thing you can bet is that they're trying to build a new rotation from within in the farm system. Guys like Calvin Ziegler, guys like Dominic Hamill, Mike Vassell, Blake Tidwell. I don't know if he's going to be a starter. And they have some arms, and they're just trying to build that stuff up, and maybe some international signings, stuff like that. So, you think there's any chance they let Alonso walk? I don't see it happening. I think he wants to be here. I think he wants to be a Met. But all I can say is that he's definitely the guy that you do lock down. He's kind of like our, the Freddie Freeman, or the this or that. I know Freddie left for LA, but he wanted to stay, obviously. I think, yeah, Alonso, I think is if I have to pick out of all of them that are Met for life, I'm 100% sure that it would be Alonso. Like, out of all of these guys. If I had to bank on one, it would be Alonso, because he's the main guy here. He's the big bopper, and I'd love for him to be a Met until he retires. But yeah. But other than that, let's see if there's anything new here we can bring up. I'd say Jeff and Nimmo leaving, but not Pete. Yeah. I say Pete is probably the most unlikely to leave. Like, out of everyone on this roster, if I can say one that will be a Met for their entire career and only be a Met, it would be Pete. That's what I would say. Obviously, Lindor is going to be here for the rest of his career, but he started off in Cleveland. That's a given. We need more pitching. That's all I worry. Obviously, they had a chance to address that at the trade deadline. They didn't. And NL and AL Cy Young predictions. I got Sandy and Cease. Well, McClanahan was originally. Let me see. I haven't really been paying attention to this, but let's see what we got here. Cease has been good. Another guy that not many people are talking about for the Cy Young, but I think Sandy Alcantara gets it. Carlos Rodon's been good, but he doesn't have the flashy ERA for the voters, so I doubt that's going to happen. Gosman's been good. I think I'll tell you right now, there is one guy that could be in the running for it. I doubt he'll get it because he's a reliever. But I mean, Edwin Diaz has a case. He's on a historic season. I'm a huge Lindor fan, but I don't think he retires a Met. He probably will go back to Cleveland when he's like, 39 when his contract ends. It's possible that he will, returning home or whatever. I don't like you. Yeah, same. But yeah. My guaranteed pick would obviously for the Cy Young would be Jake, but he hasn't been healthy this year. So if Jake has a fully healthy year, he's the automatic guy to win it. But yeah, other than that, yeah. So first pitch is in, let's say, 45-ish minutes. Taijuan Walker and Ian Anderson face off. Game 2 of a 5-game set. Tomorrow is a doubleheader. Most likely David Peterson will start. If not, it's Trevor Williams. I don't know what I said, but I'm glad that I said something to piss you off. That is good. Max win the Cy. That was a tough one, guys. I'm going to tell you, I'm still working on my English. Max wins the next year's Cy. Book it. I'm sure he does. If he plays the full season, he can definitely contend for that, especially at the level that he's pitching right now. He looks like he's 26 when he's 38. So, I mean, it's very possible. I think it's a possibility that Jake can be in that running, and Max can be in the running again, and then you can add Chris Bassett. He's been top 10 before for that award. But I don't think he's gonna get that kind of recognition. And then we definitely have a lot of guys who could contend for it. Over 30K at Citi Field again tonight. Nice. Alcantara gets traded to the Yanks. Jeter's not there anymore to give him off to the Yankees anymore. So I don't know if that's gonna happen. But yeah, other than that, 7:10 first pitch. trying to see if minor league baseball is going, because then I would pop that on for a second, because they usually start at about 6:30. Currently Binghamton is playing. They wanted Pablo. Yeah, they did want Pablo. How did Beatty do today? Beatty went 3 for 4. The hell's he doing there? What's he doing there, guys? I don't know what he's doing there. He's playing DH today. Beatty went 3 for 4, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Yeah, I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say. Don't know why he's still there in Double-A. I saw people say Diaz deserves MVP votes. You agree? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is that you've seen relievers win it before, and you're seeing a year from Diaz that like no one's having. No, listen, I know we joke about him being the next Mariano Rivera and being this and that and this. Mariano wasn't doing this shit. I'm gonna tell you right now, he wasn't doing this shit. Striking out. What is it? 51% of batters right now. Mariano Rivera wasn't doing this. I'll tell you right now. He was good. He was elite for a long time, but he wasn't doing this. So, based off of just 1 year, obviously not a full-on career, but remove Diaz from our bullpen and we would be crying. It's crazy how it's changed, It really is crazy how it's changed. Everybody wanted him gone in 2019. Everyone wanted him dead, his head on a stick and his legs dangling out the window. And now you can't imagine life without him. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. But hey, listen, nobody saw this one coming. I'll tell you right now. No one saw him being amazing. Where's TonyMetro? Dead. We have not delivered that news yet. But no, hiding from Diaz. Nah, he's given his props to Diaz. I think everybody has. It goes without saying. He's been fantastic this year. And he's going to get paid no matter where it is. If it's here or if it's somewhere else, he's going to get paid. He's going to be the hottest reliever on the market because he's been insane. He's been fantastic. And definitely doing what I know he's capable of. And that's good to see. Shout out to everybody in here. Y'all are the best, by the way. He's going to get record money. Salicata loves Diaz now. He has like short-term memory, so I really think he loves people that he hated the day before. So that's just how he is. He just rides the wave, and nobody really takes him seriously. He's just pretty much a meme at this point. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still blaming him for him saying the NL East is over, because it's definitely not over. But we have not lost first place yet in that division. We've come close. In 2 years, Mets should get a World Series plus Soto. I hope so, man. I hope so. And again, we've talked about Soto before. He's eventually going to somewhat land in our lap. We're going to have the opportunity to get him. And I can guarantee that. And that's because of his agent, Scott Boras. These are the guys that test free agency, the Scott Boras clients. But we should get Ohtani. Ohtani, I'd say that it's probably more possible to get Ohtani than Soto, only because of the connections that Billy Epler has to him. Subway to Shea, Anthony Rivera brought up this point about Shohei Ohtani. The Mets really hugging prospects during the trade deadline. It was kind of frustrating to see, because there was only the top 3 that you would say is, deemed untouchable. It's very possible that he called up the Angels. He said, okay, you're not trading Shohei Ohtani, but which prospects would you want for him in the future? And I won't trade them right now at this deadline. And that's a big point. Again, it's a conspiracy theory. We don't know if that happened behind closed doors. But yeah, he's going to be very happy in San Diego with his Dominican friends. All right. Well, Listen, San Diego, they want to win now, and they made the moves to do it. They also got Josh Hader. It's crazy because Josh Hader was probably their third best move that they made during the trade deadline. They went all out. Preller's going crazy. I think we only get Ohtani if we lose 48. It's possible, very possible. Yeah, I think Ohtani probably is on the table if we were to lose Jake. We've heard a lot about him like going to, the Braves or, a team like his hometown. I think is a bunch of shit so far. I don't think I don't think his main goal is to leave. I don't think anybody really can read Jake. And that's the wall that they're kind of running into. Andy Martino will put out his narratives no matter what, but all I'm saying is that you can't really read Jake. Jake's a very even tone guy. You know when he smiles and you know when he doesn't, and that's pretty much all you know about his emotions and his inner thinking. So I don't think that what you're hearing from media is true, because it's most just it's just people knowing people and people that know people inside the people that know Jake said that he wants to go to Atlanta. He wants to go to this. He wants to go to that. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows that whole thing. And if he does go there, fine. But hey, right now, I want to win a World Series. That's what I'm focusing on. I want to keep Jake healthy. I want to win a World Series. And that's what we're looking at right now. Worry about the free agency stuff later. Worry about all the free agency stuff later of all these guys that are going to be free agents on our team. Team could look full on different. Almost the entire bullpen's going to be free agents. Nimmo, Bassett, DeGrom. So, yeah, it could look different. But what I'm looking at right now is we're trying to win. And that's it. And you only really are guaranteed these last few months with Jake. So you might as well go for it right now. That's it. That's all you got to do. Win the entire thing. Win it all. That's what we're here to do. I heard the owner doesn't like our owner on Ohtani. Yeah, well, here's the thing about Artie Moreno. No one likes Artie Moreno. Artie Moreno's a loser. So he is a, he's basically, Will Pond with spending money and a lot of meddling, any type of ownership meddling is bad. But all I can say is that if the Mets were to deal with the owners, I think, like, out of all the owners, there's Jerry Reinsdorf, who doesn't really like us. It's very possible, and this has not been confirmed at all, that there's kind of like a vendetta against Steve Cohen being this kind of outspoken, billionaire who basically clears everybody by net worth by, he could buy multiple teams. But I would never say that the Mets were full on liked at all at any point. And I'm not here to make friends. So we're here to kick ass. That's it. That's it. I agree. That's why I wish I made more deals. What's done's done. You can't really do much. And I'd say that, Billy's definitely putting his, I wouldn't say he's putting his job on the line, but he's putting his reputation on the line right now. I would say that. He definitely made some ballsy risks, trusting guys to stay healthy here. And that's something that we're going to look out for. And if it doesn't happen, then we could be in trouble. But, who knows? Especially when your main guy is the most injured out of all of them, and Jacob deGrom. We're going to have a new bullpen next year. It's very possible. Yeah, it's going to look a lot different. We've talked about this all the time. I don't think Trevor May's coming back. Trevor Williams, I'd love to bring back on like a short little deal, because I think he's very important to this staff, a lot more important than people think he is. To be that type of swing man, to come out of the bullpen can start whenever you need him to and give you quality. Diaz, I want to keep. I want to keep Diaz, obviously, and as he continues to just dominate and slice through orders like he has been, you might as well make him one of the priorities to bring back. Obviously, it's a reliever. You have to be careful. But at this point, who knows? Ottavino is getting up there in age. If he would like to come back, he can come back. I don't think Lugo comes back. But yeah, I mean, seems like nobody talks about the great starters: Walker, Carrasco, Bassett, Max. It's all about Max and Jake. I mean, yeah, I would say that, but only because of the headline that it creates. Jake and Max, these are two future Hall of Famers. If Jake were to stay healthy, obviously. But like these guys are future like legends right now, right? And that kind of, you take them out of the rotation, you're like, okay, what do we got here? But hey, Walker's been good. Carrasco's been good for the most part. He's had a few rocky outings. Bassett's been solid. He's been healthy all year. I mean, we got deep depth for what people, see it as. You can never have enough pitching, but it's looked good. The Mets can make more moves at the winter meeting on. Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, it was broken last night because fucking McCann can't call a game correctly. But hey, you know, I didn't know McCann was going to be that bad. Harder and a lot of pros. Yeah. Again, that brings in the theory of personal vendetta. It's possible. I think Naquin and Bodie are under Bogey under. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy we got two of these guys, these two guys. I would have liked to get a headliner to kind of just round out the full-on roster. But yeah, how can McCann be so bad? No, he's fine. He's great, guys. 2019 All-Star, fantastic. And great. He's fantastic, guys. He's fantastic. He's so good. No complaints. Because, he caught no hitters. That's it. He's not trash at all. He's great. Yeah, the problem with this being real here, obviously I'm trolling here. By the way, like the stream, guys. Let's get at least a decent total. Why not? It's free. Don't worry. It's free. Go ahead and do it. Like 4 years. The problem was the backloading. They backloaded 12 million for each year. And not to mention the guy's 31 years old right now. I don't think he was ever good, but it was dumb. It's dumb. It was dumb. But hey, what do I know? Especially when you've seen just the progression of Francisco Alvarez and the ceiling that he's reached so far. It just sucks. I hate it. I really hate it. But you know what? No one listened to me. Every free agent, the free agent signing I hate the most always is bad. But hey. What do I know? What do I know? Didn't like Escobar. Didn't like McCann. Didn't like Michael Wacha. So, yeah. You still tubbing? I'm about to hop off in a few minutes. And Alderson, yeah. He used to not be, but now I think it's, the game's just passed him by at this point. These are topics that we've just talked about many times. You know, he was good for what he was there to do originally, but, ever since coming back, I don't think he's really done that good of a job. And I think it's time for him to go. And he's kind of, drifted off to the shadows recently. And which is good because you kind of need to bring in the more young and innovative type of guys. I think Sandy for what he did originally, but I think it's time for him to go. And we all see that he pretty much has that one foot at the door at this point. And I think he just needs to just let the guy retire in peace. Who did we trade in the Gibbons trade? Some guy, some unranked prospect pitcher. He was like 25 years old. It wasn't really that big of a I'm trying to figure it out. Saul Gonzalez. Yeah, I don't really think he was anything special. We gave up for Darren Ruff. That was concerning. But we haven't really seen much yet. Alvarez is a future star all day long. Bank on it. Hey, how he's hitting there in AAA, who knows? I think the kid's going to be a star. I love him. I love him to death. But listen, we just got to wait. We got to be patient. And, it just comes down to the position he plays. It's the catcher position. It's very hard to develop. And that's just how it is. But, I think he's definitely going to contend for the starting job, especially with the production we're getting from that. Do you think Tyler and David will be good in the pen? I think so. I think, Tyler McGill, I think he's going to be more of a, a seventh inning guy. Just because of how his arsenal is. He'll eventually move to the rotation, especially with the more older guys that they have. He'll get a rotation spot, but I think it's very smart that they started him off in the bullpen and, bring up those innings because, the workload that he pitched last year and this year, and, the velocity going up and all that stuff. It's I think it's tough for him to just start off as a starter, especially with the workload that you've really seen with him. And the thing is that, McGill, you just don't want him to hurt himself. And he really needs to learn, saving his velocity and stuff like that and kind of, developing his, workload to be a starting pitcher. He has starter stuff and he can be incredible, but take the Burns and Woodruff role of starting off as a reliever, and then then he can ease into that. Because if you don't remember, he was developed originally as a reliever. He had a completely different repertoire. So, I think he needs to start off as a reliever in the major leagues, and then he can elevate to being a starter. Because sometimes that transition is tough, especially again, just workload. That's how it is. All right. Any word on the Drew Smith injury? Well, this guy gets hurt every single year, so and then we don't hear from him. I don't think you're going to see him back for a while. Because it was just so unexpected that it just seems like one of those things. But okay. But yeah, I don't see him coming back anytime soon. I want to see the update on Joey Lucchesi. We haven't really seen much from him. I think everybody's just forgot he existed at this point. I would say call up Alvarez, always replace him late game with McCann. You could. I mean, he's destroying the baseball, and he's become one of the best defenders in all of the minor leagues. You could do it. You could, but hey, we'll see. We'll see what they do. They haven't ruled it out yet, but I don't think you see Alvarez this year. In the trajectory that they're going, I think they stay with the Nito and McCann platoon. As much as shit as both of them can be, and both just dry and just boring to watch, and just agony they have supplied to Mets fans. I don't think you see him this year. And if you do, it will be September call-ups. He's a Will Smith defender. That's what I've heard. Salvador Perez offensively and Will Smith defensively. That's what I've heard as the ceiling for him, or like the full-on rolling potential for him. And I heard people comparing him to Piazza, and I got completely shredded on Twitter for that. I remember that. That was just fucking stupid. Like I'm not wrong, and I'll ask you guys in the chat right now. Piazza's a lazy comparison for Francisco Alvarez. I'm not the only one who thinks that, right? But hey, whatever, man. Shake it off as we go on. But you know what? Opinions are opinions. Whatever. Bassett got his catcher back. His catcher sucks. His catcher's horrible. All of our catchers just stink. I'm just ready for something new at that position. And if that means, having Michael Perez there for a little bit, or, Nick Dini, or somebody, just something new at that position, because they need to just do something. I'm really tired of the three stooges over here, McCann, Nito, and Mazika. Their only good qualities is that one of them is better than the other by like a small increment. Signing off later, my friend. All right, we'll see you, Kyle, man. Have a great day. LFGM, my man. Enjoy the game. The alternative to McCann was Real Muto, and he's not aging well on a bloated contract. I didn't really want Real Muto. There was some guys that I was able to bring in with quality. I mean, obviously, some of them have gotten hurt, but catchers always get hurt. That's just, it's a fragile position outside of the pitcher. Jason Castro was a good possibility. I'd say that, you've seen them like not hit well, but with catchers, it's kind of just a crapshoot with them offensively. That's just kind of how the game has evolved. I'd say that if they have a good offensive ceiling, they're able to be, good whenever they are. That's just how the catcher position is really developed. You're not seeing Piazzas anymore, and you're not seeing, Rodriguez's and Mowers. You're not seeing those guys anymore. Jason Castro was a good possibility. I would like Mike Zunino. Kurt Casale was a good possibility. Tyler Flowers was somebody I was looking at, but then he retired. He got hurt. But I wouldn't say, adding injury. I wouldn't say that like adding injury is something that really penalizes with catchers, because they all get hurt. I mean, McCann's been hurt all year. So it's like, you can't really use that as one of those excuses for with pitchers, because, pitchers, you take that risk with everyone. And that's the thing. You take the injury risk for everyone. Everyone plays at an even faster speed than they ever have. They hit the ball as harder as they ever do. They move as harder as they ever do. They play harder than they ever have. The game has evolved, and that's how it is. Injuries happen. And we've really seen those develop over time. And, bodies are fragile when you have a full-on, StatCast era of, breaking records of hitting the ball hard and throwing the ball hard. That's just how it is. What's the other catcher in our farm? Nick Dini is one. Michael Perez we got for cash considerations, like the day after. The day after we got Vogelbach or whatever, we did that with Pittsburgh or whatever. Kevin Parada was the guy that we signed, and he was just he just signed for a signing bonus or whatever. He was our first round pick. Everyone thought that was that Francisco Alvarez was going into the Soto trade or whatever that day. But you don't really draft for need. You draft the best available. That's what you have to do. You draft the best available. That's rule number one of every draft, especially the first 2 rounds. But yeah, no, I like Kevin Parada. I think he's a real, the versatility that he has as a catcher is definitely something I like. Hitter, Alvarez, as much as his defense, got better and one of the best in the game, he's there to hit. Like, his main thing is to hit. Parada, he definitely provides a lot of balance, and I'm excited to see what his development looks like for the next few years. And I believe he's starting in St. Lucie. That was reported yesterday or 2 days ago, something like that. When is Tyler returning? We still haven't gotten a timetable, but what we do know, he will be returning as a bullpen arm, and that's what they're banking on. And they're trying to keep the guy healthy. Like we said, the Burns-Woodruff type of role of, building up your innings and building up that pitch confidence and, getting into the better routine, because, he was throwing pretty hard when he was here, and that velocity would go down and go up and down. And, there was some inconsistencies there. So, saving the velocity and staying healthy, that's something that he's going to have to learn. And luckily, he's got guys like Chris Bassett and Max Scherzer to teach him to do that, who save their velocity and are able to stay healthy and know their body better than anyone. I would say for Jake, but, Jake has his own injury problems recently. But, Jake is definitely somebody that you want to learn from as well, because he's basically just perfected the art of pitching at this point. I think I'm going to hop off here, guys. Thank you to everybody who showed up in the chat, guys. For those watching, I see a lot of people watching. Not many people chatting. Don't worry, you can talk to me. I'm a cool enough guy. I'm not that much of an asshole. Unless I want to be. Guys, make sure to like the stream if you have not already. Subscribe. What's it called? Post notifications. Follow us on Twitter. All of those links are in the description. Stuff like that. Let's go Mets for tonight. Taijuan Walker takes the mound against the Braves. 4.5 game lead in the National League East. Let's make it 5.5 tonight. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. Thank you guys for all the support recently. It's been awesome. EmpireSportsMedia.com for all the New York sports needs, not just the Mets, Jets, Giants, Yankees, all of that stuff. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yeah, LFGM all, and I'll see you guys next time.